All right, guys, Coach VC here, back for another video to work on some situations on the backhand that you should be practicing, things that you should be practicing on your backhand, regardless of your level. What I like to think about on the court is certain kind of nodes on the court or flagpoles that you want to be really comfortable with. Over here in this back area, the two kind of more important situations you want to be comfortable with is if somebody makes an approach that you're able to get behind the ball and zing the ball into that little angle. That would be one important node. And the way you would work on it is you'd start right here on the baseline, toss the ball behind you, and then find that little dippy angle to the outside of the, you can see the targets I have set up there. So let's roll into a little bit of, let's roll into a little game here. So what I want to do is get behind the ball, and if I make it, that's one in a row. I score a point by making 3 in a row, and I lose a point or a point from my opponent if I miss 2 in a row. So that gets me 1 in a row. There's a net, so now if I were to miss this, I'd be down love 15. So this is another little micro game that you can work on. That is 1 in a row. That is 2 in a row, and you can see I want to create a lot of topspin on that ball and find that little outside angle. Here we go. This will put me up 15 love. That is to work that angle pass. So when they hit that little deep approach into your backhand, that you're able to hit that flick pass, whether you're a righty, whether you're a oney or a two-handed backhand. So that situation is ultra important for when you're competing. You can also use this with different footworks. Here I'm gonna go with that left leg and hit that little open stance flick. You gotta be able to do it from both closed and open stance. So you can have 2 games there, but working both skill sets. Okay, so that's one situation. I took the 15 love lead. I do want to work on other skills. So what I want to focus on here now is being able to defend. I do want to launch it past that target. And what I want to work on is an open stance, negative momentum. And I want it to get that ball as deep as I can. If it lands mini tennis, I do, that does count as a miss. An actual error is a point for my opponent, because this is an area where you don't want to be conceding very many mistakes. So that is ultra important. So I'm already at 2 in a row. Remember, 3 in a row does score me a point. Mini tennis does count as a miss. And there's 3 in a row. And on that ball, when you're receiving pace, you want to be swinging those shoulders up. And the idea is, remember, when you have legs, shoulders, and hands, you got to be aware of what your legs are doing, where you want your shoulders to be going, and where you want your hands to finish. So those are all important situations. So I'm already up 30 love here, and those are 2 situational backhands that you need to be training, in addition to putting it into a zone hitting. You're training a particular zone, and you must different zones of the court. So there's one kind of little node over here, and you want to be aware from all, I would say there's 3 back here, 3 from up in the middle, and another one for the backhand. Since this is a backhand video, we want to scoot up now, and we now want to start working on moving up and putting away the shorter backhand. So from here, what we want to do, whenever you're up in that area, you want to be thinking kind of deep line, trying to hit that target. Got the target there, so that normally would be kind of a 2-point play for me if I was doing, a game to 5. I got a different game today, so I do want to make 3 in a row. So that's one. I want to get up to that ball, hit it when it's up high. I got the target again. So that's again another 2-point play, but this now is a point converting ball. So I do want to focus on, if I miss this, it would be a point against me. We don't want to be missing pressure ball points. You always want to have something. If at the end of the drill you miss, you want to address that, and you're going to have to do some sort of conditioning or lost a point altogether. Here we go. You can see there, I was able to hit the target all 3 times. I've worked out on that before. So that is another situation you want to be ultra aware of. Also from this short area, the other thing you want to be comfortable with is hitting that little short angle. Understand that your opponent can't they can't defend both of those. So these are the 3 backhands I wanted to kind of make sure players are working on a whole bunch. Is this high short cleanup, and if they can hit that little chip angle and that spike backhand training. That is also something that most players, I would say most players are not working on spike backhands. They're not working on passing shot backhands, and even if they are, they're not setting up proper targets that they need to be executing under any sort of pressure. And you got to be able to function as a tennis player within those parameters. So remember, when you're training, put those into your game. Let's go a little bonus here from this short area. Let's work on what if it gets there a little bit low. If you see the pros, if you see Djokovic and those guys, they'll go with there. You can also work from here, that little flick top spin angle, and you can also hit that low chip angle, which from both ends are very important. And so when you're going after that shot, it is important that you practice it from, making 3 in a row minimum, I would say. I would even go as much as, for anything that's a rally ball, I would say 7 to 10 in a row. For anything that's an offensive shot, minimum 3 in a row, probably 5 in a row would be most optimal for competition. Okay, so those are 3 backhands you're definitely not working on. Let's go a little bonus here, because I always want to give you guys a little extra. Now let's work the exact same scenario from up here on the high, that we get on the high one, we want to send it there. And if we get there when it's low, we want to be able to hit that little chip under, inside out chip, so you can find that angle. And that's how you would practice these things. And that's how you would want to practice these situations on the tennis court. So any of these, I would go 3 in a row. So let's spend a little time here. You can also, on this high backhand, you can also work, because I was working there, you can also get that power angle working there. That would work just fine. So you want to get on top of that ball. You want to be working on top of that ball, cover the ball, so you can find the angle. Those are things that are hyper important for competition, for higher tier players. These are things that I just don't see very many players deliberately working on, and I do see these things breaking down at pivotal moments. So let's go through. Remember, we have the backhand pass coming out from over here. See if I can see. Yeah, we got the backhand pass coming from over here. Now we can work that little angle, right? We can work open stance, and we can also work on getting on that front leg and hitting that little flick angle. And then we also want to work on dealing with the pace, already being back here, getting that ball to go with some trajectory up. And remember to swing the shoulders up and through the court, so that when you're competing, you're not leaving this ball short. So again, that upward shoulder swing, so that when you're back around here, that you're able to defend and get plenty of lift to defend from that situation. So those are all situations that you want to be thinking about. If you're dealing with that back area is a zone you have to train from. I would say this middle area is also, and then don't forget to practice this shorter zone area and make sure that you're not failing because you just forgot to practice from this. I'm going to give a few swings here on that short kind of spike backhand here, just so y'all see. Here we're going to go with the this shorter, higher one that we want to spike down on. And then also we want to look at this one that we go line on. And then the final one is also that you can show and then switch out and finish with that little underspin. Those three things, again, skill-based training is what's going to allow you to really level up your game quickly, and then being able to function under pressure on those. Coach B, C.